I'm not gonna find my wife in a frat basement. So I might have to broaden my search, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm looking for a wife right now.
What are you looking for right now?
Right now, I'm looking for an internship for the summer. Is that
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wes Reflects. Today we have a hell of a guest, Adam Friedberger. How's it going, Adam?
good? Good, good. I'm happy to be here. Excited for this conversation. Let's get into it.
And the reason we have Adam on today is Adam is, if not the chillest man I know, he's up there. He's Rushmore. And today we're
Oh
going to get
yeah.
to the bottom to it. And so it might even get to the point where it's annoying how much I'll say chill in this conversation. So we're going to start by defining it. Adam, how would you define chill?
Um, how would I define chill? I think just like simple, like easy going. Um, nothing needs to be as deep as other people make it.
Not that deep.
It's not that deep. And things are deep, but you don't have to be like all in your head about everything.
I think of it as like, yeah, like you said, easygoing, relaxed, kind of like okay with almost anything, and just
Hmm.
like stable. Like you're just and chill doesn't seem like a firm tree in the ground, but that's what I like think of it as. Because like no matter what comes, you're just like solid because you don't let anything shake you.
Yeah.
So Adam,
I
were
think
you? Go ahead, sorry.
no, 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 you go. I was rambling.
Were you always this chill? Were you born this chill? Did you get more chill along the way?
Dude, I had like anger issues when I was like a little kid. Like up until like fourth grade. I don't know what was going on, but like
Mhm.
from the go, like I had like six ear infections as a kid.
Holy
So
smoke.
or it might have even been more. I'm pretty sure it was six. But either way, I didn't learn to talk till I was like later on, probably like three or four or something like that.
Oh my God.
Whatever the time is you learn to talk, I was a couple years after that.
Hmm.
So like I was just mad all the time. Like apparently I was like biting kids and stuff like that. So I don't know when I chilled out, but life's been good. Life's been real good.
That is
Do you have
shocking.
do you have like a defining moment when you kind of eased up in life or became chill?
It's interesting because people like meet me and they like basically how I feel about you. They're like, you're the most relaxed dude I've ever met. And I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, but also like, no.
There's a
Like
lot going on. Yeah.
I
Okay.
was I was an angry youth as well, just because everybody's going through their own stuff. And then
Hmm.
just since then, it's been a journey to chillness. And it still like kind of surprises me when people are like, define me or like not define me, but they're like, Wes, you're so chill. I'm like, it's a new thing for me.
Hmm.
Cause like, yeah, in high school, I was the opposite of chill. But been on like a self growth journey. And one of the books
Hmm.
I read was Radical Acceptance, probably one of my favorite books I've ever read. And it's almost the same concept. Like chill sounds like there's no like merit to it. But
Yeah.
acceptance is like no matter what happens to you, you accept it, you're cool with it. And that doesn't really mean you're not going to do anything about it, but it just means like you're not denying the fact that it's there and you're okay with anything, which I think is a big part of it.
Yeah. I really like that. Something something for me that I'm not always like quote unquote chill about
Hmm.
is like change can be really tough for me.
Hmm.
Like for like how was the move to like Colorado like at first? Because that must have been like a really big like change, like not knowing
Yeah.
many people, stuff like that.
One quote I like is that the only constant in life is change. But yeah,
Okay.
it was a hell of an adjustment period and I kind of like thrown myself in these periods of like big adjustment just because like even Adam and I met Adam working at Bernie's and I like drove up to New Hampshire and I was like, I want to work here. I didn't know anybody. I ended up like spending the whole summer there and I met Adam.
Hmm.
I made good money, met good people. And so I kind of like to throw myself in these scenarios where I'm like forced to, it's like throwing yourself in the deep end and you always learn to swim. But
Yeah.
it was like you said, I didn't know anyone. I was going to a brand new school and I had an undergrad degree in business and I was starting like a whole new career path. So it
Hmm.
was the first like 2 weeks, it was like I was like homesick for the first time in my life. And I'd like studied abroad. I'd worked at Bernie's. I worked at a summer camp where I was gone like the whole summer. And it was like the first time in my life where it was like part of me wishes I was at home just because it was all change. There was nothing constant. But once again, got through it. I'm still in the early stage of it, but yeah, I love Colorado now, the mountains and everything. And when I was moving out there, people were like, everyone there is chill. Everyone's a chiller.
Yeah. Has that the impression you've gotten like so far made people?
Yeah, I used to think that people were more different in like different areas of the world, but
Hmm.
it's like,
Like different cultures almost.
And there is some truth to that, but it's not like I used to think everyone in Boston and New England was angry, which is not true. And I used to think that like everyone in Colorado is chill, and that's not true. It's like there's probably more angrier people in the Northeast. There's probably more chill people in Colorado, but it's like there's good people everywhere. There's shitty people everywhere, and I think it's more about like who you surround yourself with rather than where you are geographically.
Totally.
How do you like the Northeast?
Uh, I mean, I haven't really experienced anything else. Like I've lived in New
Yeah.
Hampshire my whole life. Um, I wanted to go really far for school just to like see what else is out there.
Hmm.
But I definitely will at some point. But I think I'll be New England my whole life. Like close to the water, can
Hmm.
ski, good, no taxes in New Hampshire. So
Hmm.
I'm happy where I'm at.
You kind of do have it all. And like you, I wanted to go far away for undergrad. I did it. And then I graduated. I wanted to go far away again. And the funny thing is like my time away has made me appreciate New England more than I had when I was in it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like every time coming home from school, like I'm at the University of New Hampshire, every time just driving back to Chester, like where I'm from, like it is the best feeling in the world, like driving through your hometown, like where you grew
Hmm.
up, like something about it, like the nostalgia of being there.
And you have like the friends you grew up with are like in some sense, like I'm in Colorado and I can meet friends who like ski and I can
Hmm.
meet friends who like have common interests as me. But like when you were younger, you just like those people know you better than
Oh my
anyone.
God. Yeah. Like my best friend, we met in first grade. Like
Hmm.
he's across, like he's in Arizona doing school. I'm here in New Hampshire, but like we're still best friends. Like love those boys you grew up with.
Yeah. Do you think you could ever like meet someone today and get to that level?
Oh, definitely. I mean, just here at college, I've met so many guys that like my roommate Grady, this is my second year living with him.
Hmm.
Like we were talking earlier, like drunk late night conversations. Like he's my boy, like he's my ride or die. So I don't think um so Tate's like my friend that I grew up with, he's obviously like up there, but I don't think it's necessarily like no one will ever get to where he is. Like
Hmm.
I could meet someone today and who knows, but I don't I don't need or I don't how do I say this? I'm not like limited on my friends. Like I'm still like
Hmm.
looking for people. I don't know.
Something I hear and I thought about it earlier. It was like we spent a lot of time together this summer and you were one of
Hmm.
like my best friends just because we were like I was there every single day.
Yeah.
And then you just got to move on. And like I moved to Colorado, you're still in New Hampshire. And a part of that is sad, but I think there is some value to just like having faith that wherever you go, like you'll meet some chillers.
Yeah. And I think it's whatever you make of it. Yeah. Like
Hmm.
I think you could go anywhere and do well. Like especially I think any guy can get along with any guy. Like,
Hmm.
oh, sports, cool. Or like I don't know. Like I feel like off rip we were like I knew we were gonna hit it off and
Hmm.
we had a great summer.
And yeah, I am at the period of like a new adjustment, but like I went abroad or first I went to JMU, my undergrad,
Hmm.
made great friends. I went abroad, made great friends, and now like went to camp where I knew nobody, same thing. Went to Bernie's, same thing. You just gotta have faith.
Hmm.
Is it sad for you that one of your closer friends lives all the way in Arizona?
Uh it was tough maybe like coming into school like
Hmm.
freshman year, but I wouldn't say it's sad. No, we're everyone's on their own path and
Yeah.
yeah, like we're still very close. We might not talk every day. Even like you and I, like we probably don't talk as much as we did this summer, but I would
Hmm.
still consider you one of my close friends. Like I could text
Yeah.
you at any time. So uh sad that we don't hang out as much, but
Hmm.
that relationship hasn't gone anywhere.
And I want to go back to something you said earlier. It was like, well, yeah, I'm still like in the back of my mind is I can't believe that you were like an angry youth. Was it just a natural progression of like growing up made you more relaxed?
I think so because like there's countless stories. I don't know where like all the anger came from. Like I get told about it all the time that like my mom was my soccer coach. I'm probably like 12 years old, and I just like took off my shin guards, took off my cleats like on the field, took them off. Like I was like, I'm done. Blah blah. So I don't know because I feel like I've always been like a very positive person. Like
Mhm.
um my headspace has always been good. Like I'm very yes orientated. Like I'm always looking to keep going. So I don't know when there was a change or if there ever was a change and it's just like part of growing up
Yeah.
and just maturing a little bit. But I've
And
always supported I've always like been like around supportive people. Not even like for me like pursuing it. I think I've just always been in like a good space, like good
Mhm.
friends growing up, great parents. It's always just been positive for me, which I think has shaped me into the man I'm going to be.
100%. And what would it take nowadays for you to get angry?
Uh, dude, it's tough. Like, there's not much that like someone could say that would get me like really mad. I don't
Hmm.
know what makes me angry.
Because
Uh,
I'm curious about the balance of like, because ideally I'm chill all the time, but I don't want to
uh-huh.
let people like disrespect or take advantage of me or
Oh
anything.
yeah, totally. Um, I don't know. I don't think I have that. Like, obviously, I would stand up for myself, but anger. I don't know. What kind of gets you like what gets under your skin?
Like, say a guy at a bar is clearly like being a dick. Are you at the point in your life where you can be like, not worth the fight? Or what would it take? What would he have to say to you? Or like, would it just have to be disrespect? Would it have to be like, you have to
Uh,
defend yourself?
I mean, if he's like throwing punches, I'm defending myself. But
Yeah.
unless he's talking about like my family or anything like that, or like
Hmm.
really disrespecting like a friend or something like that. Other than that, like if you're a dick, like cool, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be over here.
Yeah.
But
Just
unless
separate
someone's like
yourself.
talking about, yeah, unless someone's talking about like my family or nothing, I'm normally like a calm head.
Yeah, just for me, it's like tough to just like walk away when they're being a dick, but I know in the
Hmm.
back of my head my parents have told me this, like it's never worth the fight. Because like best case, like you guys get kicked out and like your night's over.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in like an altercation that's like specifically like just me and someone else.
Hmm.
Like, so maybe I just haven't experienced it. But like, if my friend was getting disrespected or something like that, like I'm always there.
Yeah.
But I haven't personally been in like a situation that I've had to be like, all right, let's go.
It's definitely easier to be chill when you're rolling deep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are girls as chill as guys?
Ah, it's a loaded question. There's
Mhm.
definitely some chill girls out there. Um, I don't think there's any chill females in my life right now, but I would love to meet them.
Yeah, I think it is more just like what I was saying about like where you live. It's like you can't just say like all guys are chill, no girls are
Hmm.
chill, but it's just probably more a guy is more likely to be chill is at least where we're at right now.
Hmm. Yeah. And I really don't know, like I'm a dude, so I don't really know too much about
Hmm.
how a female's feeling. But just off of my experiences, I feel like it's so easy to like connect with a guy compared to like girls meeting with girls. But I don't know because I'm not a girl and I've never really talked to one about that.
Yeah.
You should get a girl on the podcast and dive deep into how they feel about everything.
I definitely will. I have one of my friends in Colorado is really wants to come on, and I will have her on. Although
Okay.
a part of why I first started it and why I think it could be successful is because like guys normally don't like talk about anything like deep online or in person or like online in general. Like if I ask
Hmm.
my like an older guy in my life and my family if he like how he feels about something, he's just like there's a firm barrier there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like he's good, and
Hmm.
that's kind of where it ends.
I'm
Yeah,
good, don't worry about it. It's
yeah.
like and I think like I am in the mental health field. I'm trying to get the gentleman talking more a little bit. And especially because like
Hmm.
I like to talk and I think it's healthy to talk.
Yeah, totally.
And I think girls already are talking like they talk about their emotions definitely a lot less limitedly. And so I was
Hmm.
trying to get the conversations going. But I will have some girls on the show.
Oh yeah.
Um, are there things in your life that you want one day that you don't have now? And how do you find peace with that?
What do I want in life?
Like
Yeah.
I remember one of our late night talks doing sauce. We were talking about like looking for a wife. And I think we
Hmm.
both want wives, but
Yeah. No,
like
that well, when you said that question, I would, yeah, that's right where my mind went is where's my wife?
a part of me is like, just like work on other things, wait for her to come to you. And a part of me is like, should I be out there looking for her?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think about that a lot. But I think I don't know how you go about it because I think if you're really looking, you're not going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're not looking at all, like is it just going to come to me?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm totally, and I don't even know if that's what I want right now, too.
Mm-hmm.
When you think really big, but I'm not going to find my wife in a frat basement. So I might, I might have to broaden my search, but I wouldn't necessarily say I'm looking for a wife right now.
What are you looking for right now?
Right now, I'm looking for an internship for the summer. Is that is where my head is at. I don't know. I think the only time I really stress myself out these days is like thinking about the future and thinking about what I want to do full time. And I
Mm-hmm.
can easily just like be like, all right, I don't need to like be thinking about this right now. I'm stressing myself out. But at the same time, I feel like that's something that I do have to really think about on, hey, what do I want to do? Can I really do this for a long time in my
Mm-hmm.
life? So yeah. I guess what I want is a job that will make me successful, but also something that like I'll be able to do like 5 days out of the week, 6 days out of the week.
Hmm. I agree, and it my mind goes to like the balance of like if you're like in the moment, it's like I don't need a job right now. Like
Yeah.
I have enough money, my stomach is full, I have a roof over my head. It's not always
Hmm.
my roof. Thank you, mom and dad, for this roof.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yep.
it's like how do you like stay in the moment and also like prepare for the future, for things
Yeah.
like a wife, for things like a career.
Hmm.
And it's thing still definitely haven't figured it out. I'm not really too worried that I will, but I think it's about like balance. And like one thing I've heard in a podcast or read in a book, it's like prepare for it, but like don't think about the outcome. Just be like, I'm gonna apply for these jobs. And then
Hmm.
if you get an interview, just like do it. Do you
Yeah.
think you'd be okay if wife never comes?
Um, if there's a dude, what? No. I don't know. I want a family, like not right now, but I feel like that's something I definitely think about. So I don't know. I do know that like if whoever I do want to be with, like I don't want a divorce,
Hmm.
which like probably everybody, but like
Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of families that split up, and I'm very fortunate to have both my parents like still together and supporting me. So that's something that I would want to have. So whenever I do find my wife, like I'm definitely a ride or die type of guy. Like I'm looking for a long term. So we'll see, man. How about you? Do you think you could go no wife, or maybe that just like that's just not in the cards for you?
I don't know. I really, that's one of the things where it's like I don't know what my life would look like if I didn't have one. I agree. I also want to like probably raise a kid. I
Hmm.
guess because like where I'm thinking right, I've always said like I'd rather not get married than marry the wrong girl. Like, what if you're 50?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a very valid point. And I guess we're just gonna have to find out when we're 50.
Yeah, and I think you always I'm watching The Sopranos right now, and a quote is don't let anyone make you feel like you don't have options. And so if you really it's about if it's about raising kids, you could adopt, which I've
Hmm.
there's always options for what you really want. And I think just a concept in life in general, it's like you're better like if it's not in the cards, then it's not in the cards and you're better like accepting that and like seeing, okay, if that's not going to happen, what else can I do rather than like fight what clearly isn't meant to be.
Yeah. Kind of like, okay, what's next?
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Because there's a lot of things in life, at least in my life, where it's like in the moment, I was like, that's really not what I wanted. Or it's like I wanted something and it didn't happen. So obviously I was like sad. But in the end, everything has worked out pretty great. And I remember, you remember Mark, the dude we worked with?
Oh yeah.
His
Yeah.
mindset was always like, everything just seems to work out for me. And a part of me was like, I don't,
No, I know what you mean. Like it's,
but
I mean, that's a good mindset to have, but I don't know if that is what was actually happening for him.
yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. It's like
Yeah.
I love the mindset. And maybe that's everything that happened to him, like that's all he needed. And he was a
Yeah.
bit of like a interesting guy. Maybe he doesn't want the normal things. And
Hmm.
maybe, but I think in general, like if looking back, there's a quote that's like, life can only be understood like looking backwards, but you have to live it forwards, and that's kind of the where a lot of the problems arise out of.
Hmm. Do you think you reflect a lot on like everyday things or situations that have happened? Like, how is your kind of thought process through stuff like that?
Constantly. This
Yeah.
this podcast is called Wes Reflects.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I think, yeah, that's one of the things I think you have to do. It's like you will, and I think everyone's kind of afraid to make mistakes, but they're
Hmm.
inevitable. But what isn't inevitable is like making them over and over again, which some people have. And it's like that's kind of where your choice is. Like you don't have the choice whether or not to make mistakes. Your only choice is like whether or not you learn from them.
Yeah.
So it's like everything I've like been close to getting things I wanted set like multiple times, whether it was like a girl or like a job or like joining an organization at school, but I did something to mess it up. And it stung real bad because I wanted all of those things. But there's this like Kung Fu Panda clip where this guy's like hitting him with a stick. And then
Hmm.
he's like, "Ah, what'd you do that for?" And then he swings again and like the guy ducks and it's like good job, like some things are going to hurt in life and you can either like learn from them or just like let them keep happening and that's all it is.
Yeah. I think that's you hit it right on the nail, dude. Like, I think like experiences like that or something we've been talking about recently is like crucible experiences, like
What does that mean?
big events in your life that have kind of like shaped or changed
Hmm.
you. So like I think mistakes are a huge like crucible experience, like especially like big mistakes. Like I definitely told you about like my story freshman year about how I like got kicked out of one of the dorms here at
Hmm.
UNH. So just for everyone else, freshman year, I'm in the elevator with a couple of my friends. Some girls walk in. It's like super awkward. Like we were having a good time, and then it was just like dead silent. And I was a little drunk, whatever. I was like, you know what? Let's break the ice. Like this is weird. So I do the joke when you're like, hey, you have something on your shirt, and then you like flick them. And I did that to one of the girls, and she was an RA at the dorm. So she like freaked out, blah, blah, blah. She said I like sexually harassed her, like she felt super uncomfortable. But like past all that, like terrible thing, like in my head, like for a while, I was like, what the hell? Like, who is this girl? Like, I can't believe she did that. But it definitely like that was a crucible experience for me because like it made me like see the world and like because before that I've never really gotten in, like real trouble. So that was
Hmm.
kind of like, wow, I need to like I was kind of like living life on easy mode. Like
Hmm.
I could do anything, like blah blah blah. So that was a good like real life example of like knowing that you need to like mature a little bit or just be aware of your situations, like think before you act, kind of stuff
Hmm.
like that. So I think yeah, it was a mistake, but I've grown so much because of that mistake. So I think mistakes are huge for like character development as well as just like maturing as a person.
Yeah, thinking before I act is still something I'm working on. Do you still have like anger towards that girl?
No, it's more of like a joke nowadays.
Hmm.
Like I'll do the joke to someone like blah blah blah. Like it's friends only, no more
Yeah.
strangers. But but no, I was definitely mad for a while, but at the end of the day, like what I intended it to be and to how it affected her,
Hmm.
like regardless of how I wanted it to go, like I still made her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like grab her tits or anything like that. Like I like pointed and then I flicked her face. But like I was definitely in the wrong, like what I was
Hmm.
intending or not, because she wasn't comfortable with it. So no, I don't hold any like bad judgment towards her. And everyone's going through their own stuff and you have no idea until even if you talk to them, you could have no idea how they're doing. So I think it's good to think about that before you just judge someone.
Hmm. I like a lot of things you said. one, the overall mindset I think is mature. Number two, it's like that's another thing I'm trying to move towards, and I've definitely gotten a lot better. Like so many
Hmm.
people like will get you mad, but in reality, you have no idea what they're going through.
Yeah.
And I've heard the quote, it's like everyone's going through something like you know nothing about. And I think often, if not always, it's like if someone makes you mad or is like being an undesirable presence, like one of my friends said to me, it's like you can't hate someone more than they hate themselves. And that's true because like a lot of people are their own biggest critic.
Hmm.
But
I think
also,
you,
go ahead.
what was I gonna say? Um, no, continue. My bad.
I also kind of forgot where I was going, but I can scramble.
Yeah.
So you were talking about, but it's really hard in the moment. In the moment, it feels like this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But like, as you can see that moment for you in hindsight, like, I don't know if you would call it like a, you're happy it happened, but it's like a, like you said, a lot of growth came from it.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, in the moment it was terrible. Like it's my first year in college. I'm really not like I wasn't ready to like it was the first time I was by myself, like without my parents, and something like that happened. So it really freaked me out. It's like, am I still going to be able to do school? Like, I was really stressed out. And for me, that was probably the first time I've really had like anxiety or stress. Like, I feel like I've
Hmm.
always been kind of a calm dude. So, yeah, it opened up a lot of doors.
How do you feel about entering the real, what year are you?
I'm a junior.
How do you feel about entering the quote unquote real world soon?
Yeah, so I definitely like when I think about it a lot, I definitely stress out a little bit.
Hmm.
But it's also so I'm in a fraternity here, and I was really close with a lot of the seniors that graduated last year.
Hmm.
And a couple of them came for a career fair, like with their like companies that they're working with now. And it was really cool, but it was also really weird to see like friends I was just with like working that
Hmm.
9 to 5. So I think honestly it helps seeing them because it was like, all right, they're doing it, like I can do this. So it's more of just trying to be happy with my life. Because
Hmm.
like my dad makes like a good amount of money, like he provides for the family, but he hates his job.
Hmm.
Like hates it completely. So I would love to make the money that he makes, but I like is it worth the money if you're not like happy?
I would definitely say no. That's something
Yeah.
because I've probably told you this a bunch of times, but I was junior year, I had a internship and I was like going down the finance data analytics
Hmm.
path where I was like, and they offered me a job. I was set to make like a decent amount of money, but I was like, for me, I had to be doing something I was like passionate about because I was conscious that it was going to be like they say 40 hours a week for like 40 years of your life. That is legit like half of your time on Earth. And
Yeah.
it's if you're doing something that you don't love, it's like I think you can get through it and a lot of people do just like this allows me to provide for my family. And we live in a world today where it's like it's getting harder and harder to like do what you love,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad, but do you think humans are meant to be on the 9 to 5?
Oh, I don't know. Like an ideal world, everyone would do what makes them happy, but like
Hmm.
obviously that's not sustainable. So I don't know. I think it's just I don't want work to consume me.
Hmm.
Like whatever I do want to be great at, like whether I enjoy it or not. Like I want to succeed in what I do. But I want to be able to leave work at work.
Hmm.
Like especially like I'm going back to Walmart right now for work over this the winter break, which is gonna be terrible. Like Walmart sucks. But like you see that in the full-time employee, obviously, like some of them might have not gone to college, so Walmart was kind of like really their
Hmm.
only option. But just seeing them every day kind of just like miserable, like that scares me. And even if that is what you have to do for work, I feel like you have to find another way to still be happy.
Yeah.
Like whether that's a hobby or I don't know, paid vacations. I don't know how other people do it, but I know whatever I do, regardless, like I'm gonna try to like make the most of it.
And that's a key thing. It's like Ethan, one of the waiters at our restaurant, like he got there and he gave it his all every day. And he
Hmm.
probably had like, I don't know if he was happier, but like, I think he was like decently happy just as like a waiter. Not that a waiter's like anything low or anything. I like
Yeah,
being a waiter, but I at least was not giving it my all. And I think I would have been better off like giving it my all.
yeah. I don't. The way Ethan works is insane. Like I think if I was trying to do what Ethan did, I would be burnt out. Like for me, that would be sustainable. But for him, like he's the first one there, like probably one of the last ones to leave. Like he loves what he does and
Hmm.
he's good at it. So I think his engine, like his motor, is something that everyone should kind of strive for. Like the way he can just go, go,
Hmm.
go. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, that guy gave it his all like every second he was there. And that's why I
Hmm.
think he enjoyed like he should at the end of the day when he's like getting off and he made a boatload of money, he should be proud because he worked his ass off.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this podcast. It's like the quote was I've never regretted trying harder. And it sat me down. I'm still processing it.
Yeah. What do you think? Like what does that mean to you?
Because, like, whether that be school or like the gym, it's like you can sit at a job you think you don't like, and maybe you don't like it, but every time I've decided to work harder and I actually did, it's true. I've never regretted it. And if it's like I've worked, say you're like work grinding like as hard as you can, nine to
Hmm.
five for like a certain amount of time, like for a promotion, and you don't get the promotion, like even if you don't get the promotion, like you probably are better off in that company. You probably like you have something to be proud of. You need like something to be proud of, I think.
Hmm. And I think that if you're really like like Ethan, for example, like first one there, last one to leave, like if you're bringing that like energy, like promotion or not, I think around you, even if you're not, it's kind of like an informal leader.
Hmm.
Like you're kind of building the culture. Like people are gonna see that work and be like, all right, like this guy's working, or maybe not. But I think in my cases, like your energy affects everyone around you. So like if everyone's negative, like everyone's gonna be negative. But if someone's like, hey, like let's go hard, like let's do this, like that can really bring up people around you. So I think all around, like giving your best is not only gonna help everything, but also like help the people around you be better.
Hmm. And that
So
reminds
yeah.
me of what we were talking about earlier. It's like in this case, the input would be like how hard you work, and the output would
Hmm.
be like a promotion. It's like forget about the promotion, just like work hard for you and you'll be way more likely to get like the things like promotions or a raise cuz like he had the best section and there's not a day where I was like he didn't deserve it because he
Yeah.
was working his ass off and I wasn't.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I'm mad he has the best section while I'm sitting down in the back using my phone. Like yeah, he deserves it. Yeah, 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 yeah,
like me, you and Jimmy, we were chilling the whole time at work
yeah,
while he was
yeah.
grinding. And
Grinding.
do you think that if my answer is yes. But do you like if you're working as hard as you can at something for like an extended period of time, I think it's almost inevitable that you're going to get something like a raise or a promotion or some form of success.
I mean, I would hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, But like how do you, because I've never had an experience like this, but like how do you handle it if you don't? Like
If you don't
say
get the promos,
yeah, say for like a year, like you're going hard, doing the best you possibly can, and like you're not really getting anything out of it, like promotion wise or like salary wise. Like, should you
people,
be doing it for you, or is it really for that progression?
I think my immediate instinct is just keep working.
Yeah.
And because I think if you do it for you, then you will keep going. And maybe it was a bad year. Maybe you didn't get any monetary reward. But I
Hmm.
believe that, like, not even believe, like, legitimately, if you work some, like, for years and years and you're working as hard as you can, like, good things will happen. I think hard work
Yeah,
always pays off in one way or another. And
definitely.
say like 5, 10 years go by. Well, 10 sounds like a lot. Say 5 years
Yeah.
go by and like that company's not promoting you, then you've like you know what you're doing and you could take your talent and your hard work somewhere else that will give you a promotion.
Hmm.
Don't let anyone tell you that you don't have options.
Something I've been on recently. I one of the guys was saying it at the house, but like discipline is even more than motivation,
Dude, that's
which is huge.
I've been running a lot recently. I used to like love
Hmm.
to lift weights, but I lost my fire for that. And like
Yeah.
running has always made me feel better than lifting does. And so every day I run outside and the thing I have in my ear, I look up like motivation core on YouTube and then I just like listen
Hmm.
to it while I run. And yesterday it was a 2 hour video called Discipline and it was just like hammering it home in my head. And
Yeah.
when I was like really, I went from like a pretty scrawny kid to someone with like a decent enough build. And the way I did that is like, you can't only work out when you feel like working out. Like the results come from consistency, they come from discipline, which they define as like doing it even though you don't want to do it.
Yeah. Which is the hardest part. When
100%.
you don't want to do something, it feels so good when you do it though. Like there's days you're kind
Exactly.
of sick. Yeah.
But it's also like the answer because it relates just to what we were talking about. It's like, you haven't had a promotion in like a year. You know how hard it is to like keep working hard?
Hmm.
But I also, and all the people like in the YouTube video I was listening to while running, like incredibly successful people. And that's why like I'm gonna listen to them over like anyone else. The people like incredible, like top 1% successful people. And all of them are like, I got here through discipline. And it's
Hmm.
like, there were a lot of days where I didn't feel like doing it and I did it anyway. And they also say once you've done that a certain amount of time, it becomes a habit. And once you make like that a habit, you're almost untouchable.
I need that as a habit. Because what I was just about to ask is like, how do you not like burn out? Like I definitely have days that I'm just like, hey, like I just can't. Like or just like those days that you don't want to work like at all. Like the last thing you want to do to work. Like how do you get yourself to go? Like how do you stay disciplined on your worst times? You just do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
there's this, I think it's like Mother Teresa. I was at this, like at my internship, doesn't really matter. I was at this woman's house for my internship, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
some people are gonna make you mad. Be kind anyway. And it was just like a bunch of those. It's like,
Hmm.
some days you're not going to feel like doing it, do it anyway. Because if you let, and this is, David Goggins,
Yeah.
this is like his whole thing. Because it's like, when you don't want to do something and you do it anyway, you're like showing your mind that like it's not in charge, you are. And then it gives you like a lot more power than just like being victim to whatever you feel like doing that day.
That's definitely something I can incorporate, at least within this last week. Like it's been it's been finals week. Like I don't really have too many exams, but more projects. But
Hmm.
just getting myself to actually like sit down and like work has been so tough. Like, and I'm normally just like, whatever, like, let's do it. But like
Hmm.
this week, it's been like, I've actually had to take like everything out of me to like just
Hmm.
sit down and do my work. So I think discipline's huge and something everyone could like benefit from.
100%. And I've been in areas of my life where like people are like, "You're so disciplined. How do you do it?" And for me, it was like there's no answer. It's like I don't want to do it either. Do it anyway. But I am
Hmm.
also in a period of my life where it's like I'm not where I was. Like I used to wake up, work out. I used to wake up, cold shower, work out, meditate. And I was
It's
like
on a different level, bro.
100%, like I was a beast. And then
Yeah.
I got to a point where I was like, I'm pretty happy right now. Do I really need
Hmm.
a workout? And it's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't need to do anything, but these things will put you in like a much better position daily.
Yeah. I think I've been kind of slacking on the gym too. Like the fire's not there as it used to be. Like even when I do get to the gym, like I always warm up with like basketball because like we have a
Hmm.
bunch of courts. But then I'll like hoop for like 15, 20 minutes and then like I'll start working out and be like, this sucks. Like I just want to play basketball so that I end up playing basketball. But
That is, it's all coming full circle, but it's like that's the equivalent of like a job you love versus a job you don't like. Like both of those things are exercise. One of
hmm,
them you like doing more, one of them you don't. And that's why, and it's like playing basketball is exercise. And
yeah.
for a while, I did want to have that like fuck bodybuilder build, but it's like
Hmm,
I know that's not gonna make me, maybe that'll make me like 1% happier and that's it. Like I exercise, and this is the point of like remembering why you do things. Because for a
yeah.
while I was like working out to get jacked, and then I got to like a certain level, I was like, I don't care anymore, but I still want to
Hmm.
work out to be like healthy. But you could easily like I've been running, that's enough to stay healthy. Playing basketball is enough to stay healthy.
Oh yeah. I feel so good after, I bet everyone does. Like after exercise, like
Mm-hmm.
there's no feeling in the world like walking out of the gym, just like adrenaline's up, heartbeat's
Mm-hmm.
up, like you're just on top of the world. So I think exercise is definitely important for just like mental health and staying where you need
Mm-hmm.
to be.
And I think I don't even like love run. I kind of like running. No, I don't.
Hmm.
I don't like it at all. I love how it makes me feel, kind of just like you said. But
Yeah.
like my parents are they're both like very into tennis and they like love playing tennis and it like,
What's up? Yeah. Can I just have it for like the last 3 minutes? Thanks.
dang,
That time, dude, they're kicking me out.
we can wrap. But it's like my parents play tennis. They love
Hmm.
playing tennis, like just probably how you like playing basketball. It keeps them in shape and they get like friends out of it. So it's like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I would totally be down to do another one. I feel like we got
Hell
cut
yeah.
a little short, but I miss talking to you, dude. Like
Me
these are
too,
the
man.
best.
One
And
last one last
yeah.
question I want to hit you with, and I hope you hit me with what you always hit me with. But what
Okay.
advice would you give to younger Adam?
Younger Adam. Um, the biggest one is be you.
Yeah, baby. That's what
That,
I was looking
yeah,
for.
that is what I've lived by for so, and it started as a joke. Like we
Hmm.
were in Hampton, and there was like we were staying at one of those beachy houses, and like all
Hmm.
over the place. It's like be you, but like at the end of the day, like that is how I live my life. You have to be yourself. Other people can do stuff like you were saying earlier, like some people will say stuff that can get you mad or things that can get you upset. Screw them. Like it's so hard. It's so easy to be like, oh, they don't matter. Like nothing
Hmm.
matters what they say, but you still got to be yourself. And yeah, it's as simple as be you.
100%. Yeah, man, I miss talking to you too. I'd love to have you on. Hit me whenever. And I'll
Yeah,
tell
okay.
whoever's coming on your next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the time. I'm getting kicked out of the room, but definitely stay in touch.
100%. Thanks,
All
Adam.
right. Yeah, see ya.
Peace.